What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's been a while, but Happy New Year. The first edition.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
We finally got off the mat from Notre Dame's playoff. Well in the rearview mirror. A lot has happened since then. But tonight we bring you our March Madness preview. It's a wonderful time. Last year, we didn't
get to do it.
We poured one out. So,
we did do a bracket, though, right? We did do the name of the year last year, so still that. We'll still have that coming. That'll be coming soon.
It will be. Some names we like, some front runners early. We'll get to that, though. But tonight, all about March Madness. So let's just dive right in. But before I do, reintroduce ourselves. It's me, AY, coming from the beautiful state capital.
For those that have forgotten.
The blue state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, the welder, D-Berg. What's up?
That's right. Paying homage to Josh Pastner in his fortunate but impressive ACC Conference Championship.
The beautiful princess crown.
That's right. Yeah, I did. Getting closer. There's the camera. Yeah. So I texted after seeing AY, for those that weren't following, AY nailed a couple of monster bombs in his conference tournament picks. When I saw Georgia Tech, I said, if Pastner, a.k.a. the welder, pulls this off, I will wear a welder's mask on our NCAA tournament preview. So here we are.
Here we are.
This can be bought at the Kroger, your local Kroger. The brown mask.
Oh, man.
To my east, Ken. What's up?
Excited. It's March Madness, which means time to pay homage to Dan's alma mater, the Lions. Crowns.
The 2009, the 2010-11 PIAA state champs.
Good job, Ty.
Rough year this year. I don't know if they're still in the playoffs or not, but the enrollment is booming at South Bend, and with that comes tougher competition. They'll be
bigger classifications.
That's right.
There we go. But weather is all right. A little drizzly out there, a little chilly, but spring showers, right? Excited.
That's right.
Good weather right around the corner. Yeah. But
yeah, for you, Ken, making a jaunt down to a natural and civil disaster land that is the great Southeast.
Yep, going through SEC.
Be safe and have fun.
I will.
And I think took on a bit of rain here as well, so we'll be all right.
I'll be all right. How's what's new news? What's new around you guys, personal wise? The last couple of months, haven't caught up with the listeners or the watchers. Now we got watchers and listeners now.
Yeah, no watchers currently. We're still sitting at a flat zero, but I don't have much personal news. Not much has changed. Not much has changed for the teams I cheer for. Not much has changed, which is basically my personal news. You can follow my emotional trend based on how my teams are performing. Pitt Panthers brief season recap for the third straight year. Glimpses of hope at the beginning of the year, thwarted by another abominable season ending.
Which Pitt Panthers are you speaking of? The round ball?
Pitt basketball, Pitt football. Okay. That's been the same thing for a decade for them.
Okay.
So Pitt football apparently is really slow. In case you didn't see those 40 times early in the week at Pitt Pro Day. I personally have a conspiracy that James Franklin attached heavily weighted spikes to slow down or diminish their 40 times. But
I think Dudes is thinking for them here, thinking of everything, and they're vying for undrafted free agency.
Look at Henry Hanoski from AY's neck of the woods.
His home.
Got his pick of the litter and became Super Bowl champ. No, yeah, I feel bad for those guys, but, you've seen the workout warriors thrive and quickly die. So it'll all come down to how they play in the league where they play.
In the league where they play for pay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, just Pitt football, even quicker synopsis, yet another year of peaks and valleys. Good beatdown of Virginia Tech. Good beatdown of somebody else, I think. And then, 3 or 4 disappointing losses. With
Chris Peaks and Valleys.
That's right, Chris Peaks and Valleys. Shout out to Panther Layer Comp. Watch our video before you watch his video, though.
Yeah. Well, basketball, round ball variety, you were saying.
No, yeah, just the same thing. Early glimpses of hope, and then a long losing streak.
There's a freshman kid that got arrested on multiple felonies.
Yeah, I mean, people were speculating about whether he's going to come back or not. Just cut him loose. Don't sacrifice your standards.
Star, though.
Cut him loose. I know he's top 100 prospect. It's tough to see him go. John Hughley's his name, but no, cut him loose. Get him go to JUCO and then fucking probably transfer to one of those bagmen, Oates or Musselman that we're going to talk about later tonight.
He'll be at Ole Miss. He'll be at Ole Miss.
Shameless. Or Patino when he ends up at Minnesota taking over for his son or something crazy like that. So, yeah, send him off to one of those places. Good riddance. You can't be a fucking idiot.
Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Yeah.
AY, you bought a house before our last recording, correct?
Yeah, October.
And
don't dox him now. Don't dox him for all the angry fans after this recording.
Double what?
Don't dox him.
Who's dox him?
No, dox. It's like when you reveal a guy's location so that angry people can go get them.
Oh yeah, of course. AY, public enemy number 1.
No, you never know after this bracket. The way he shoots from the hip.
I'm a little more structured this year. We'll get into that.
You may anger some fan bases.
Perhaps. Yeah, we had our first, I guess, homeowner issue a few weeks ago. Big rain, leak in the roof. Shingles were a little sketchy.
We got the opposite issue here. It's not the top that's issue with rain, and we got the sub pump issue downstairs.
I'm down in the basement now, and we have no issues. So
no issues. That's good.
We're all tidied up. Good to go.
Good. Personal news on my front. Still fighting through some injury on the left foot for basketball. The off season hasn't been good. Still feel stiff after a couple of runs.
Poor rehab, lazy rehab.
Have not done my part. I think going to come into the preseason a little weighed down. You got to fight through it. But other than that, what were you going to say?
No, I was saying you and AY jockeying for worst rehabber of the pod because AY insists on running on. What do you have? A half an ACL at this point?
Maybe a quarter.
15 miles a day on a half an ACL.
That's not good.
Yeah, we have. We'll monitor it through the off season, but 100 miles this fall. So we'll see.
I don't know that I've walked 100 miles since I last ran in high school, but
Bert tore her ACL. Surgery on Wednesday.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, she's tough though. She's feeling good. She's feeling strong.
Speedy recovery.
Chased a bunch away. She's fine.
And how early did you catch that? I can't remember if I asked you this or
not. We woke up the one day, and it was bad. She couldn't move out of nowhere, and we got checked out that evening. Finally got in somewhere, and they said probably ACL.
Probably ACL.
And we got results back a few days later, and it was confirmed. That was about a month ago, and surgery is Wednesday, but she's fine.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, she'll be back to normal soon.
Fingers crossed.
All right, so I am pulling up my bracket now.
All right.
I got mine pulled up as well virtually.
I got mine virtually as well.
See, I did one side so far, but it's all up here. I'm just waiting to do it now. So I'm ready.
Integrity, right? You guys only do one per year?
You took the question right out of my mouth. Yeah, I only won one.
Exactly. You're not a Dave. You're not a conductor Deech over here.
Nope.
But Dave infamously,
with more variance than the COVID. I'll tell you that much.
It's funny. I haven't thought of that at all until you just mentioned that. When people say, "Oh, well, I have them in 2 of them, so I guess I'll root for them here."
Oh, it's terrible.
No. Dave, integrity. David, obviously, are you trying to win the money or not?
Within reason. You have to be a man of honor, Dave.
Yes.
I'm blowing you up personally. I'm questioning your manhood. And to be honest, he peaked about a half dozen years ago whenever he claimed that he was a genius for picking Mercer over Duke in one of his 7 entries. So,
thank you,
need I
Dave.
say more?
Need I say more? You don't need. No need to say more.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
All right. We want to start out west in the western part of Indianapolis.
We went over this though. Can we do just the quick elimination? Nobody's taking a 16 seed, right?
Yeah, we got Gonzaga moving on.
I've got
in all 4 of the regions though. Nobody's taking 16.
No, but I've got
AY contemplating a 16 over there. Looks like
he's contemplating Texas Southern. I'm contemplating Texas Southern. No liberals. You know I love my SWAC.
They're in the SWAC,
and you hate your Michigan.
And I hate my Michigan.
You should have really put, instead of Kent for your name, you should have put SWAC expert because
Swaction, Mr. Swaction.
Mr. Swaction, because Ken loves the Valley.
Oh, I'm Big Valley.
Delta dollar.
Exactly.
No, what about 15s? Any 15s taking you down 2s?
I like Patino to keep it close.
Okay, so that's a betting tip, everyone. Keep the score at home, but not actually pulling off the upright. Like on your bracket, you don't have a 15 taking down a 2.
I do not have a 15 taking down a 2.
AY?
No. My one mention of the 4 games would be Grand Canyon has a 7-footer who could give Garza trouble.
Yeah.
Please do.
But besides that, Grand Canyon still ranks 340th in average height. So the rest of their lineup is, I think, very small.
That 7-footer ran circles around that Valley team. I think he went on a personal 12-0 run, the 7-footer.
I guess for what's worth, I think Baylor absolutely blows the freaking doors off of Hartford.
Really?
Absolutely blows the doors off them.
No respect for the America East.
No respect. I like.
All right, now we can dive in. Just want to get that off the table.
Okay. I've also got Illini and Houston Cougs covering here. You know, I like the Horizon, but I don't like Cleveland State. Still do not believe in them.
All right. So, yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Oklahoma, Missouri.
Boomer for me, despite the injury.
All right.
No analysis. This is 2 teams in poor form. You know, poor form for both, which is going to be my logic for every single pick, I think, is just going to be form-based. And then if both teams are in good form or bad form, I'm going with just the ceiling based on what we've seen this year. So very boring, very mechanical, but I think we'll be at least close to the money by following that trade.
I'm going Reavers in Oklahoma. I think Konzo's been broken since I bet them against Frank Martin in Carolina and then broke FanDuel. And FanDuel, I got all that free money from FanDuel when it was broken. And I just said Konzo hasn't won. I don't think Konzo's done anything since then.
And he's going to tank to get the out. So it's not as concerning when he leaves for Penn State.
Exactly. Him and Sandy. All right. We'll keep on heading down then. You got the fraught with tension Creighton Blue Jays. Can they get past their hatred for their coach? You know, everybody's going to be, I feel like, betting against him. Nobody likes Creighton now. Are you aboard with Santa Barbara?
I am not, if I may start. This kind of goes against the form argument I was just bringing up, but I also think that Creighton has just enough scoring in the front court, in the Gauchos, in the Big West. I didn't see, from the little that I did watch in the conference tournament, I kind of waited till the end, but throughout the course of the year, you follow these, you see the scores, and it's hard to know just how good the league was. And this could be a blanket, just with a reduced non-conference schedule. This could be a blanket statement. So for those 2 reasons, I'm going to go with the Blue Jays, but I wouldn't be stunned if one of you 2 are Oppo.
I'm on the Blue Jays. I do think that they generally overwhelm inferior teams, and their threes end up falling. Balak and Zagorowski, though I hate them, they'll shoot them and then they'll feed it inside of that freshman 7-footer. They'll be all right here against the Gauchos. I got them moving on.
Yeah. I guess to set the stage and circle back and answer this all in one long form. Last game, I'm going Missouri. The Smith brothers and Pinson. OU, I kind of think that they're burnout. Either way, it's kind of meaningless because Zach's going to roll them. So on to this one. I'm going Creighton here. I love Santa Barbara. I'll mention this once, maybe one more time. I had them in my slow draft, so I'm big fan of these guys. They've won a ton of games the last few years. I've kept them. DeCord McLaughlin is awesome. These guys are good. But to what Ken said, I feel like this kind of game Creighton just overwhelms a not as good team. I kind of thought I'd go Santa Barbara here, but I didn't. Or Santa Barbara Lache, as some would say.
Santa Barbara Lache! Michael!
St. Patrick's.
I'm going Creighton here.
Michael engaged. Shout out to Michael Barbalache.
All right. Way to go, Barb.
Congrats there. Closer, I don't have the spreads in front of me, which is fine because I'll wait till AYT comes out with that tomorrow morning.
Are you picking every game, by the way? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
You picking every game this summer?
22 first rounders, right?
Every game so far. I mean, I will do that. And I guess the last point I want to get across before we go through all these games is I said in production meeting I've been using Bart Torvik and a range of the last 3 to 4 weeks, running efficiency tempo numbers from that. So that'll kind of be my blanket template since it worked for the conference tournament pool. I will use mainly that, sprinkle in injuries and preseason stuff a little bit, but when in doubt, trust the metrics. And while I love Santa Barbara, we're going Creighton here. And all right, got all that out. So now I'm ready to roll through the rest of them as we go into Virginia, Ohio. Look, Virginia hasn't practiced in a week. Ohio's hot. They're in the MAC. Jacob Preston is an NBA player. Jay Huff, does he do it for you? Not for me. Bobcats outright.
Ooh. Plus the COVID chaos going on with Virginia is a big factor in this game. I'm still sticking true to my, I guess, what is a bit of a snob in terms of, and both of ACC homer. I guess you could double bag that. So I'm going to take the who's to move on, but once again, wouldn't be stunned. I'm prepared for a lot to happen. This is just more of a percentage play for me, and I wouldn't hate to see it either. You know, Virginia, they had their time.
Yeah,
I love that guy's hair on the Bobcats as well. What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I really don't like the Bobcats. They're probably my fourth favorite team in the MAC. I was all over. I loved Akron. I love Kent. I love Toledo. I don't know how Ohio came out with the fucking. They got a nice freshman guard, I think, on that team. That's very nice.
And it is Ben Vanderplas, which AY already highlighted his skills. So.
Yeah, having said that, Virginia will slow it down. I think they'll end up winning by like 8, something like that. 50. I'll go 58-50. I'm taking Virginia and move on here.
All right. Let's go down to we just had a winner here. Drake outlasted Wichita.
Yep.
They're taking on Evan Mobley and USC. I don't love Drake because they're battling injuries here down the stretch.
Yep.
And they did nothing to impress me tonight in that rock fight. I'll take Evan Mobley in Southern California in a stiff arm rock fight. Probably cover 2.
Who's going to guard Mobley on that Drake team? Is it going to be that big beefcake that was lumbering around the court? 51. I can't remember his name already. I just watched the game, but yeah, that's what I saw, and he was very impressive in that Colorado game. He really just kept them in it as they were down for probably the first 25 minutes or so of that Pac-12 tournament game. And the last time out we saw USC, obviously they lost the nail biter ultimately, but yeah, I'm very impressed with him. I'm really interested to see how he develops and projects forward to the NBA. If he gets probably a little bit thicker, but you know, as Kevin Durant has shown, you don't have to be a bodybuilder in the NBA to be a scorer. So very impressed by him, and I think he can go ham on the Bulldogs. And DeVries, like that coach's name on Drake.
DeVry.
DeVry University.
I'll take USC here. Drake running out of steam here. They're lucky to make it this far. I don't think they should have been in the tournament.
Who would you put in the Cards?
Yeah, I think I'd put the Cards over them. Yeah.
I would. Sorry, Ken. You know how they mentioned how they give teams a pass for players that are injured, and when they come back, it's like, oh, we'll judge a team now at full health. Well, Drake was at full health, and then they weren't. So I kind of feel like it should go both ways. And without not at full strength, Drake is not a tournament team.
Right.
But
they won.
Again, sorry, Auk. Wichita sucks too.
Wichita, two teams to have a victory in the tournament. That's more than anybody else.
I would love to see Louisville, and above anyone else, a Sweet 16 team for me would have been Colorado State.
Oh, you and Grant love that Rams team.
I love that Rams team.
And you like that
coach, right?
Roddy. What's that guy's name? Nicola. What's the coach's name? Nicola what?
Nico. Right?
Nico.
And Roddy Piper. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Roddy White.
Not Roddy White, who's
not Roddy White.
Put the sock in his mouth.
He really, rough look.
Rough. I'll take USC to go here, but USC, they look great when they're great, but they are trash when they're not firing. And when Mobley has those 2-point halves, they're very bad.
All right, moving on. Kansas City, Washington. My one note: Tanner Groves, the Eastern Washington swingman center.
They're nice. Eastern Washington's nice.
They're hot. EW.
You saw Kansas against a team like UTEP just recently.
I'll take them to cover. I'll take the big side to cover.
What's the number?
They're the best team out there. Not Southern Utah, sorry. But Kansas escaped with a W.
What's this number?
Tanner Groves.
No, what's the spread?
I don't.
I'm going to start looking these up. Only for I don't want to screw you up, AY, but I just want to look and see because otherwise my picks will get extremely boring.
My metric number comes to 9.
Okay.
I think that's low.
I still like Eastern Washington, yeah. So yeah, I like them more. But Kansas to win, escaping.
Yeah, I got Kansas. I'll take Kansas to win. Here,
10.5 on Kansas. Yeah, I got Kansas winning as well.
Yeah.
Cover though, yeah, I could see. I mean, obviously, the biggest evidence for Kansas to
is that UTEP game.
That's right, yeah, and it could be a focus issue, but in that particular instance with UTEP, but I think it's still cause for concern if you have that in your bag to play down in the competition.
You should have stopped me when we started out in the West, but I didn't realize they started on Saturday. We'll have to go back in time. Okay, so yeah, I've got 10.5 for that, but I'll take Kansas here to cover as well. But either way, keep it rolling here. We've got Oregon and VCU, the Havoc, the Commonwealth. Where is VCU? Is it in Richmond?
It is in Richmond, home of younger brother, young AY.
It's not in Richmond, is it?
It is in Richmond.
Yeah.
He's also moving through Iowa right now. I just got off the phone with him a little bit ago.
Nice.
Giving Garza a pep talk. All right.
Garza a pep talk.
This game was the hardest first round game for me to pick.
Last game in the first round too.
Is it all the way at the end? So Oregon not affected by West Coast time. They're used to it. Will VCU be sleepy? That's the question. Listen, Oregon's been hot. They've been really good lately. They've been coming on. They've won a lot of games. VCU, I cannot put my finger on them. They'll be impressive one night, then they're very hot and cold, I feel like. I think Oregon, I love Dana Altman as a coach. I think he's had some good teams. I like the system he runs. I think that they can make it pretty far in this tournament. I like them to beat VCU here. I think it'll be a good game, but I think they'll win by like 5 or 6.
All I will say, I've got Oregon advancing as well.
Duarte is nice.
Yeah, I've got Oregon advancing. I watched some of that A-10 championship as well as they had the weird 1 week gap, right? So their semifinal game was against Davidson. VCU in those games did not impress me either way. But all I will say is, if you're betting and you're really you're just betting because of the NCAA tournament, I would avoid this. This is a toss. This is all the makings of you're down $250, $300. You're like, oh yeah, Oregon's 20-5. They're playing this VCU team who I've heard of, but they're 19-7. Just go to bed. Be careful. Just go to bed for the love of God. That's all I'm saying. Because this is you would think the bookmakers specifically scheduled this game as the bailout game. Money line. They're going to money line them. I'm telling you. So I'll be interested to see and see how wrong I am about that. But that's what I would be very, very cautious for those placing wagers, especially if you're new to it, because the natural instinct is to get back what you lost.
Grant,
as AY said.
Grant's going to be chaperoning a nice Atlantic City trip this weekend with conductor Deach as well as a couple other friends. Alex Baker, who doesn't drink beer, good guy.
Still good guy. Yeah.
Good guy. Good. It's going to be a good time down there for them. I'm disappointed in that.
Did you say shepherding or chaperoning?
Chaperoning. He's going to be chaperoning.
Gotcha.
and shepherding.
All right.
I get to round this out. This game so tough. Either way, I got two great players. You got Duarte and Nashawn Highland for VCU.
Mm-hmm.
I have much respect for the A-10 conference. The Oregon State loss was weird. And so I went to the numbers here. I went to my last February 22nd. So let's just say 4 weeks.
This is the theorem. You should change
the last 4 weeks to my theorem, deciding, and of course, they are VCU's 51st, Oregon's 53rd. Couldn't be much closer. Right in between, funny enough, Oregon State. So we go VCU in a complete toss-up.
All right.
I'm ready for the game. Can't wait, but toss-up and parlay this into Iowa advancing.
There we go.
I got Iowa as well. Now, how do we want to do this the rest of the way here in the West? Do you want to just get to the Final Four? I feel like that's how we've done in the past.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to let's just finish out the west of Indianapolis. Dan, you're familiar with the surroundings. What town are we in the west of Indianapolis?
The west of Indianapolis.
Speedway.
Speedway. Oh, that's where the Speedway is.
Speedway. Okay, so we're in the Speedway neighborhood. We're in Brickyard. We're in the Brickyard.
Sidebar, you can look up the Speedway murders.
Ah.
There's a little true crime.
I like this true crime. True crime.
Yeah, sorry about that. Dan, do you want to run through yours?
Yeah, I'll run through mine because it's extremely. This is actually, you know what? This is all high seeds. This is all high. It could not get any more boring. Gonzaga.
All chop. Dan, all chop.
One thing I'd be figuring out too. It's fair, I think, to bet against Gonzaga. They're not my champion. You can throw them out already. Spoiler alert. But figuring out whether do you want to do it in the second game or do you want to wait until the Sweet 16? Because I think that's, if you have an opinion against Gonzaga, that's the time to at least be going against them spread-wise. So I've got them advancing over Oklahoma. The Wahoo Wah in the battle of the bad form / kind of phony but pretty good teams. I don't know.
They're bad. They're gross.
Yeah. But they've had good moments both.
Yeah. And they're the kind of teams that can out-tough Creighton.
Yeah. Kansas over USC.
Yeah.
Iowa over Oregon.
Yeah.
Iowa over Kansas. Gonzaga over the Who's. And then I get Gonzaga going to the Final Four. I didn't even realize until just now that I went all chalk. I can guarantee that will not be the case.
The exact same thing Dan does. I do think that Iowa-Kansas game is going to be a slog. I think Kansas will be able to ugly it up. I do think Luker, Iowa likes to get up and down. I think they're going to come up through with a timely defensive stop there. A stretch, because Kansas they go cold for spells. I fucking hate that Braun calls himself Brown. And and McCormack, McCormack's he's no Udoka Azubuike or any of those guys down there. He's good, but they can't shoot either. Kansas will go cold for too long. Iowa will get a stretch there down like the 6-minute mark, and they'll end up winning by like 8. But it'll be a good game.
All right, AY, I'll let you finish yours out, and then I want to bring back one hypothetical before we close out this region. I just thought of. So I'm adding to my time.
Gonzaga, Missouri, Ohio Creighton. I'm going Ohio. I think it's 316. They're hot. I know they didn't win the MAC, but I think the MAC was pretty decent with Toledo. Kent State was backed up into the year. Buffalo's very athletic.
Wait, Ohio didn't win the MAC?
Akron. I mean,
regular season.
Regular season.
Yeah. Funny enough, just to back that up, Ohio in my metrics 37 right now. In this range. Virginia 50, Creighton 48.
Penn State in the metrics.
Where's who?
Penn State.
They're probably not as good because of their skid down the
so I got Gonzaga, Ohio. I got Kansas moving on against USC. Kansas very much light in the metrics. Again, this is weird for me. This is new. I'm not on acid as much, so just bear with me.
It'll kick in.
Yeah, we're getting there. And I got Iowa. Over Kansas. The metrics love Iowa. They actually play defense now. Beginning of the year, none defense. They actually play
the revelation.
They do play a little bit.
They play enough with Garza and those guards. Washington's been there for 30 years. Perry Ellis Jr. Anyways, pretty much chalk besides Ohio. Zager, Final Four over Iowa.
All right,
I agree. Do you think it'll be as close? Do you think it'll be as close as the first time they played, or not as close as the first time?
Stiff arm, 8-11, Gonzaga.
So the exact same as the first time.
Yeah, it was like 98, 99, 88, something like that.
Yeah.
Particularly
I bet that for Iowa plus 12.5, I think, and they covered.
I was just thinking, so you've got these potential common opponents or repeat opponents, I guess, for Gonzaga. If the Who's obviously AY doesn't think so, but if the Who's get there in that Sweet 16 matchup, I mean, is that a just if it ain't broke, don't fix it spot, or is everybody's going to bet Gonzaga because they already hammered Virginia once? What do you think?
I mean,
that was one of my hypotheticals, and then the other ones we can't mention, but Iowa.
If that does happen, hammer Gonzaga. We just watch those guys play. They remind me of the one of the more recent Carolina teams that won the title that could just go from they could crash the boards, run from transition to either hit a shot or into their offense, and it's just so smooth every single time. That's what it reminds me of.
All right, I'm making a mental note of that.
The thing with them is, besides Kispert, they don't really have 3-point shooters. Like, Suggs will make them. And same with the guys, but they're not like shooters, right? Which is a good thing. You don't want to be a shooting team that relies only on 3-point shots.
You mean QB Suggs?
Sorry, QB Suggs. You're right. QB1 Suggs.
Yeah, and I gotta say this. I gotta drive this point home.
Wanted him. Did you know that Urban wanted him? Did you know that Drew wanted him? Did you know?
I did not.
This is just me trying to find holes in Gonzaga at this point, but did they seem just a little too happy when they won that? And I get there's the whole undefeated angle, but like you would think in the WCC,
it's the first time they were really pushed all year, right? Yeah. So I mean, they were down big late.
I think it was probably just that.
Yeah, they were down big. Actually, it wasn't late that they were down. They were down big, came back really quickly, tied it. Then they got down again, 9, and then I was sweating. And then they ended up winning by 10. Unbelievable.
Then they almost covered the closing.
Yeah. The closing line was like 14 or something like that, I think.
It was.
Yeah. This is terrible. I should have prepped better. I've got another question. AY, is it you that has the undefeated bet with somebody? Gonzaga going undefeated?
No, is
it Roth mentioned that? I can't remember. Somebody I remember hearing about that. Somebody bet about Gonzaga going undefeated.
I didn't bet anybody, but I did say, I think back in November that Gonzaga would go undefeated. I didn't bet anybody though.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I just threw that. I'm in that chat. I go, after they beat the Iowa, Virginia, Kansas, they're going to go undefeated.
Yeah. Good run. Great run for them.
was kind of a given through the conference play, but now that's where we go. I don't know where we are as far as I feel like we should probably move a little faster, but
yeah, we did about 20 minutes on that one.
okay. I mean, I'm not in a huge rush, but I'm going to open this up and then let you go. Actually, no, you guys started off here. And again, our booth, the St. Bonaventure. Well, we have Michigan moving on, obviously.
Yep.
Livers. We'll touch on Michigan as we go through our region. The Bonnies and LSU. Where are you guys going?
Hold on, I got some Andy Reid issues going on here. Let me get a wipe off. Some Andy Reid fog issues going on with my mask.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
Who you got, Bonnies or Tigers?
I also just realized I gave you guys a huge crotch shot when I got up there.
This is also on our was it OnlyFans, fans only? What's that called?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Don't be coy, Dan. You know what it was. You know what it was.
I was on there for a period of time. You're right.
Don't be coy. Don't be coy.
Furloughs were tough during the pandemic.
Bonnies. I like the I've always hated the LSU this year. They've been a gross team. I like the Bonnies. What's number 0's name? I've liked him as well. A couple of times I've watched him this year.
I don't remember the St. Bonnies numbers. Apologies.
Kyle Lofton, maybe?
Yeah, Lofton. Right. He's good. I like the Bonnies to win. They're a good team. They haven't really played too many people this year. But I think they're good. I'll take them over LSU just purely based on me not liking LSU, which is the opposite of football.
Well, I'm going LSU here. This is their recent form being better than the Bonnies' recent form, at least in terms of the competition level. But I've heard multiple people preview this game and say it's going to be a tortoise in the hare type matchup. Good clash of style, so enjoy this one and pray that doesn't go the way of St. Bonaventure's slow tempo, because we already saw a couple of those earlier tonight.
All right. We keep going down the way. You got Patrick Chewing on the magical run. Can he replicate the UConn Big East victory and parlaying it into a bigger tournament victory?
This is as spicy as I'm getting. I'm going to steal everyone else's thunder if you're doing the same. Chewing to the second weekend.
All right.
They knock off the Buffs, and they knock off the Knowles, who I got going over Greensboro. So, it's hard for me to go against the Go ACC. I've got the Welders mask on, but I think they're able. This is the one team I'm banking on catching lightning in a bottle with their recent form, and I think that's two favorable matchups.
The Buffs can run though, and I've seen them overwhelm teams. I think Georgetown is overwhelmable, though. They play good tempo. They'll make some shots from the outside, and they've got Wahab inside. Colorado's got that IFA in there as well. He's pretty built. Number 21, right?
Yeah, Patty or Petit. I always think he's Tony Petit.
Batey. But yeah, I'll take the Buffs over Georgetown, and I'm taking Florida State. Lenny with the blown tire will continue to the show. It was continue to lead on, hit forge on while injured, and I like Florida State here to take down the Buffs as well and take it to the Sweet 16.
Look, I'm riding the lightning here with Danberg and Hoyes.
Form machine. The form machine.
I can't believe what I'm reading here. I know. Looking at the metrics here and looking what my eyes saw against even Villanova, Georgetown, 23-23 from the line, and they hit all those threes and still won by 1 point against a hobble Nova team. But I gotta trust the numbers here. I'm a changed man. I'm trusting numbers.
I love it. AY, for those who don't remember, sorry to cut you off again.
Yeah.
AY went from you had the Lockatron at the inception of the AYT.
Mm-hmm.
And then abandoned all metrics and went solely by touch, as if you were cracking a safe.
Only goulash
like can, and then you've become a well-rounded. You're incorporating some recent data. I appreciate
well-rounded.
I prefer the all data-driven. I can't trust my emotions to be involved.
Dan is an accountant.
There is.
I can't do it. But it's different strokes for different folks. And I'm also the one wearing a mask right now. So
if you go back and look at AYT from when conference tournament season started to where we are now, we were like 4 games over, and now I think we're like 18, 19 over.
It's solid climbing.
When we slowly morphed my metrics into it, along with we're not all the way there, but yeah, I mean small sample still, but we've taken off. But yeah, the Hoyers. I mean, look,
Hoyers.
The Hoyers.
I can't believe it, but
Hoyers. The Brian Hoyers.
if you look at the last month, my numbers, Georgetown, the 16th best team.
No,
crazy. It's crazy.
My Buffs.
With some respect.
I've had the Buffs for 4 or 5 years now in the slow draft. McKinley Wright, I've basically watched him grow up in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
My Buffs are freaking, where they are. They're not on the first page, though. I'll tell you
They're
that.
off the charts and not in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, no, there they are. The Buffs are 29. They're 29. So
okay. All right. That's respectful.
But as far as playing a number, Georgetown all the way, outright, we've come this far. Let's just keep going. And Greensboro, Florida State. Greensboro could not ask for a worse matchup than the Noles.
Yeah.
That press defense, the deliberate,
they'll send waves at them.
Structured Greensboro team. I love the SoCon. I love Deach's Mercer Bears. I love my Wofford Terriers. But Greensboro, you could not have drawn a worse matchup here. Noles cover easily.
Right. I like the Noles actually. We'll see here in a second how much I like the Noles. We've got Michigan State. We've got Izzo versus UCLA tipping here momentarily.
Who do you got tonight, man?
Bonus. I've got it. It's March. We got Izzo.
I got UCLA.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Well, I've got Izzo beating Harms and who is somebody Bottavicio? What's the guard's name at BYU? It's like a Italian name. I feel like
BYU.
Bonaducci. It's not Bonaducci. What is it?
I don't have it. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. But I will tell you that I'm riding Harms for sure.
Oh,
my God. Strides are shorter. I've been waiting to say this. I love it. It's one of my favorite discoveries and observations. Harms has shorter strides than my sister, who is about 5'2". Just watch that guy scoot up and down the court. It is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Look up BYU basketball, and the first question it says people also ask, "Is Matt Harms LDS?"
And the answer is no. Correct. He's not a member of the Latter-day Saints.
I don't think he is. He's from
freaking. I get Harms as well though with AY. I really want. I was very close on this one. I really like having the extra data point with this first 4, especially in the 11s. Obviously, going against some of these 6s, as we already covered. Drake did not do themselves any favors for anyone picking them at least. But it'd be interesting to see. You never want to see a beatdown if you like one of these 11s playing this game. I feel like, but you also want to see kind of a comfortable, confident, 7 to 12 point win to maybe propel you and push you over the edge before the new deadline tomorrow. So just bear that in mind. Food for thought. But I think I like BYU over either of these teams as of right yet.
I don't know. I think Izzo could take him. I got Izzo beating BYU. Barcello was the name I was thinking of.
Okay, all right.
Marcello, they got some good 3-point shooters. Averett as well for BYU, but I think MSU may be rounding the 4. Obviously, they had some nice wins down the stretch. That dump trucking by Maryland wasn't the best, but who
Averett reminds me of is Captain Barbosa. Leandro. He goes at bazillion miles an hour.
Is it because they're both playing in Utah as well?
What's that?
Is it because they're both in Utah as well?
Potentially, I guess. Well, I remember Captain Barbosa on the Suns teams, obviously.
Oh, he's the Suns staple, yeah.
Yeah, but then obviously the late run with the Warriors. But I'm trying to think. I have no other upsets. I'm just gonna jump. I'm gonna jump the line on you guys. I get nothing, so I'll give you guys the airtime. The rest of the first round for this region, that is.
Rest of the first round
in this region.
So
we got 3 games left here. You get Ab Christian, AY. You love them.
Yeah.
And then the DMV.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll run through mine here quickly. So I do have BYU over who I would think is UCLA, but we'll see about that. I love Abilene Christian. Again,
how much?
I've had them
for
a lot. I've had them for 4 or 5 years now in slow draft. Awful matchup. Can't take them here. I don't even know if they cover. I don't think.
I would say only getting 9.
I don't think that's not enough. I know this team. I love the Southland. Your Nicholls State, Sam Houston, Stephen F. Austin. What a close race that was. Ab Christian was the best. They proved to be so. Not here. Texas, too much. UConn, Maryland, awesome game.
Yeah.
Awesome game. I'm going with the Con.
Yep.
Bammer, Ioner. Look, the 9 seed. They won their conference tournament like we all thought they would. The worst seeding.
As a 9.
Excellent seeding. Excellent seeding,
which provided monstrous upset points, which
was good.
Did anyone not take them? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, there was, I think, only 8 of the 40 of us took Ioner.
Oh my God!
Which
surrounded by morons.
It was kind of a toss-up, them and Siena, but if you thought Ioner was going to win, then just take them the whole freaking way. And with the upset point, there was no point not to take them.
Right. Yeah. Especially since they were 6-3, it wasn't even like they had a bad record. It was the most asinine seeding of all time, pandemic or not.
Incredible.
They're up against it here with. I think Bammer. I think they're really good. And,
yeah.
Can't believe I'm saying this about basketball, Bammer, but I think they're really good.
They're having themselves a year.
But they have shown me too many times to be a lack of focus, rely too much on the 3-point shot. When they get down by 20 to Missouri or they get killed by Ole Miss or whatnot.
No,
I've seen.
Not of late though.
Not of late. I've got UConn beating them.
I mean, Petty and Jones. I mean, Jones is awesome. They play their offensive metrics. Their defense is the last 4 weeks. They're the 3rd best adjusted defense. Offense slipped a little bit, but I think they're awesome. Yeah. So that's my my first round. Danberg, I didn't hear you. You want to finish out?
Yeah, I'll finish out the East here. I got the Fab Vibe narrowly escaping LSU. That's obviously a team mixed form at least, but I mean just too much of a ceiling for the Wolves there to not advance. And then I got, like I said, Patrick Ewing taking down the ACC regular season champion Florida State to get to a pretty sweet matchup, I would say, in the Sweet 16. Good storylines there with the NBA players, head coaches, college stars. It'll be a good one for the headlines. And then I got Texas knocking out the LDS, and then Alabama. I really looked hard at this, but I just love them too much the way they've been playing. But I think that's an exceptional call by UConn to have UConn knocking them off. But I'd get them advancing and then taking down the Horns and Michigan over Georgetown. Bammer into the Final Four. They even by their standards, an outstanding year for Alabama. The money sports continues.
Bama going for the Florida.
All my spice is coming from this region. I hate to break it to you for the second half of this.
Same with me. If you're here for spice, stay for this, and you can probably leave and know what's going to happen next on the other side of the bracket. But I've got Michigan beating St. Bonaventure, and then I've got him falling to Lenny. Juwan falling to Lenny. I think Michigan's the liver's injury. Them, I mean, not fair to say they're struggling down the stretch, but they're not tip top like they were before the shutdown. I got Florida State with that depth beating them, and then I've got Izzo coming through as well over Shaka. So
wow,
Izzo over Shaka, and I've got March Izzo in a classic. How many times have they played UConn? I feel like they play UConn every time. Numerous times. And I've got UConn prevailing this time around. So I've got UConn Florida State for the Final Four trip. And I've got Florida State Lenny making it through the Final Four. ACC Pride. Go ACC.
That's right.
I realized when I was getting a beer earlier, I didn't get to pick my 8-9 matchup, the LSU St. Bonaventure game, which is an awesome matchup. Can't tell LSU. The offense of LSU was awesome.
They do not play defense.
Defense is Matador, very optional. St. Bonaventure metrics, they love him. So I'm moving the Bonnies on over LSU. And the first region was pretty tame, right?
Yes.
It's time to drop it a little bit. I got Bonaventure over Michigan.
Oh, Nelly.
I just mentioned earlier how I respect the A-10 very much, and I think they get it done here. The metrics absolutely love the Bonnies. It's incredible. Georgetown over Florida State. Ride the Lightning there with Chewing. BYU, I love them. Love BYU.
Oh, my gosh.
Love Texas too, just not what I want to see in that matchup. And let's put up that C for Con over Bama.
Holy cow!
I got that.
Shoot your shot.
Got that. St. Bonaventure over G-Town. UConn over BYU. I got Con in the Final Four over St. Bonaventure.
AY going back to the well. UConn is the 7 seed. Last time it worked out.
It kicked in. Two quick notes here. I guess the first one's kind of multi-leveled per the metrics. Again, I will stop mentioning this. Just assume this is what I'm mentioning from now on. Con, number 2.
Oh,
See,
that's insane.
St. Bonaventure.
4. Oh my gosh.
Bama,
this is really something.
Bama number 5. This region's loaded.
I'll tell you. I'd be interested to see is the obviously the bracket unfolds, but also the tail end of the coverage leading up to the tournament. If there's a consensus with craziness in this East, because we went pretty boring in the West, but also all three of us really ramping it up in the.
I think this is definitely the craziest one. I think one more could get a little weird, but one's also very chalky as well. I didn't fill it out yet, but just from what I'm looking at on here, but. I think James Booknight, I know Cole's a little banged up for Connecticut, but Booknight and this UConn team, I know they just lost to Creighton fairly easily, but I mean they were ice cold. I mean, granted, teams are going to do that, but if UConn just shoots decent, I think they're right there. The numbers back it up. They're playing some good defense. St. Bonaventure. It's tough to swallow, but sometimes you gotta go with it.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Here's my latest
first round by 8. I wouldn't be shocked at all. At all.
Is Dan Hurley's? I might trademark this or patent it, whatever you want to call it. Is Dan Hurley's energy and enthusiasm worth one win every year in the NCAA tournament? Because that guy is a madman in a sport that is filled with madmen for coaches.
It's interesting. He's like that, but his brother is not.
Well, I've seen Bobby throw some tantrums. I think they just sucked ass so much that maybe he ran out of steam by December 15th. But yeah, I've seen some antics with him, but I notice a contrast in styles there. But yeah, I'm very fired up now to see this.
And I guess the other point that I was going to make was the last time UConn was a 7 seed. Remember they did win it, and that was the year that I picked them to win it.
Oh,
that's what I said. You went back to the well.
Yep.
UConn is a 7 seed.
I was just remember sitting there in the love seat with FSU Michael. I got to the Elite 8. I was like, dude, I still have UConn moving on. And I kept going with him. Like, I think they win this. Like, I think they win this. Like, well, hell, I might as well just finish it off. And then 3 weeks later, he's like, dude, how much money did you win? I was like, none. I didn't do any bracket. I was like, who would
All for the love of the game. All for the love of the game.
Yeah. So that's where we're at.
Hold on, time out. I'll be right back.
Cam will be right back. Dan,
We're live. We're recording live, so we'll have
we're live.
We'll have to plow ahead here. Let him catch up.
Who did Ken have in the Final Four there?
Florida State.
Florida State. And
so I've got Bama. He had Florida State. You got UConn.
And we all want Gonzaga.
If there were Michigan fans watching, they're not watching anymore.
No, yeah, I think this.
John Bacon just closed out.
I think with that the Livers injury, I mean, is their best player going to be Hunter? Is he going to take it to the Final Four?
I don't think so.
No. Sorry.
I hope Juwan gets into another fight though. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him scrap with Will Wade, even though I know you have the Bonnies advancing. That'd be a good Bagman v. Bagman matchup there.
That's fine. Yeah, we can go through the South and we can just let Ken just mow through his. We got better moving on. Like I mentioned, Baylor minus whatever. Carolina, Wisconsin. 2 preseason big teams here. Close line here. Metrics, very
close. Of course, yeah.
Very close. I'll tip my hand here. Carolina, as far as the metrics go, 18-19. So enjoy the game. I think it's gonna be a great game. Wisconsin scuffling on the stretch a little bit. Carolina, per usual, crashing the boards. Big guys, guard optional. What do you got, Dan?
Yeah, I got Carolina taking the cake here, and facing off what should be another very interesting second round game or third round game against the Baylor Bears. Not too much more to add on it though. I think it should be interesting. There's another team in this region, I believe. Yes, there is. That reminds me of Wisconsin. It's Texas Tech. I know we'll get to them here shortly, but I think very similar. They played a fair amount of close games. Just the wins might not all be there, but I think they're very live. If they do get past Carolina, I'm picking Carolina, but it should be an interesting match against Baylor for either team. And I know that's a frequently brought up point. Sorry to be a broken record with the rest of
that Wisconsin Carolina game was the hardest game for me to pick.
Yep. And who'd you pick?
Very tough.
I think Wisconsin, once they get out of Big Ten play, will be all right. They just got beat up so badly in Big Ten play.
Right.
But I love Roy's team. They're bigger. I think Wisconsin's big guys, I think they can get bitched really badly by Carolina's bigs, and I think that's where the difference will come. Wisconsin, I've seen them go ice cold from 3 as well. Price is really the only one that consistently hits from there. North Carolina by no means is good at threes either, but I think
pretty awful.
Yeah, their inside presence I think will carry them here to a nice rock fight of a win. It'll be a good game.
They're at 213.
They're probably the very worst at threes.
Not great, but they are number 1 at offensive rebound percentage
on the glass.
I mean, that's what they always are. They're always awesome at that. But yeah, so we move on to awesome game here. Nova, Winthrop. We all know about the injuries to Nova. We all know about Chaudron, my boy from Winthrop. Slow draft represented there. Awesome team this year.
You have Winthrop?
Yeah. Let's just say
AY hoarding all the
teams.
No final results yet, but we had a pretty good year with the slow draft with your Winthrops, your Oral Roberts, even Ab Christian, Grand Canyons. Pretty good.
And you get points for the regular season and conference tournament. Yeah. So that's you got a few double baggers here. That's pretty good.
My biggest letdown was Wright State. God, they
passed around. We talked about those games they played. They'd lose by 7 and then win by 70 the next night.
Yeah, they would absolutely blow the doors off teams after they lost.
I know.
But
very annoying.
They slipped
up. They were maddening. They were absolutely maddening.
Anywho, who do you guys got here? I know we got the injuries to Nova.
This may be my lock of the first round.
Oh boy!
And it is the Villanova Wildcats. Are they the trendiest dog in history, Winthrop? It's possible.
Put up there, yeah.
This is a total fade of popular belief. I don't even know. I mean, I haven't seen the betting numbers, so I don't know. But I think
it's 6, and it's gone. It's up to like 6.5 now, I think.
Okay, so maybe there's some sharp money coming in there then. But I feel like a lot of people picking the Winthrop. Yeah. They get the great record. I point you to their
Asheville,
the Asheville series where they barely won and barely lost. I believe that's all I needed to know. Period.
The Asheville, the first one they were covering, they were like up 17 before they won by like 3. Something like
the
that.
only question is if Nover, which I've heard this point brought up also, and it's been part of the opposition's position, if Nover is just completely checked out, we lost 2 of our great guys. Screw it. I think they could still even win if that is the case, but I think that if I had to put one lock for this whole first round, that's what I'd be taking is Nover minus pretty much anything up to 8 or 9. I think they win by like 10 or more.
Yeah, I've got them bet at -6 as well as 1H at 3. Paid a premium for that, but
I will show my ass on camera the next podcast if that doesn't come through.
All right.
I mean,
maybe just metaphorically.
You know that this is not the fans of only fans as you were playing coy about.
Yeah. This is only our 4th broadcast, I think, so they'll kick us off YouTube.
I guess we'll mention this in passing, but yeah, I got Winthrop out right here.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
So something will give.
It's a duel.
There may be an ass on screen.
Here's another big discrepancy here. Dan, Nover 40th.
I believe it. Yep.
Winthrop
7.
9.
9. It's incredible. But I get it. I get that.
No, I understand. Take these with some grain of salt here, but I mean that's 30 spots.
Hard. It's hard to pass. I get it.
But you look at Winthrop here in this range, 3-0. So small sample. So you got to adjust that too. I was taking Winthrop no matter who they played, and just happened to be an injured Nova team.
See, the thing is,
emotionally invested into the Winthrop.
Emotionally invested. Winthrop has been good this year. They have been good this year.
Oh yeah. Also, since we were talking about my slow draft teams, guess who has North Texas too?
AY the Hoarder. Is it just you in this?
It seems like it. I had a magical run.
No, I know. It's one of the. I still like the NFL is my favorite that Cimarelli does, but they're all great and they're all packed with people. So shout out Cimarelli. Published in the Times, right? New York Times.
He's one of the best gaming people, right?
Yeah.
New York Times. So, and I mean, as true to form, Cimarelli did finish 3rd this year's conference tournament. He's always up there.
It's fixed.
My pool, my money. That's his.
My pool, my money.
I've got Purdue there. I've got Purdue.
I got Purdue as well.
I do too. I have them. I have them covering too. Do I like Purdue? Not at all. But do the numbers scream Purdue? Very much so. So I'm going to roll.
Penn State representation. Penn State head coach Micah Shrewsbury.
Yeah, is he coaching in this game or not? I assume not, right?
I believe he is. I believe he's staying on for the run. So,
all right,
we'll see with half his team in the transfer portal. We'll see how long he wants to stick around.
Yeah, big fan of North Texas, but Purdue here. A tough game here next. 6-11, Tech, Utah State. I think when you mentioned earlier about Texas Tech and their close games.
That's why I was comparing them to Wisconsin.
Can you trust Texas Tech over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row? No, you can't. But any given game, could they beat anybody? Absolutely. I think they could. I think this team's awesome. They're a little too reliant on M squared, perhaps. But
I don't think he's that good either.
He's a heat check guy.
I'm not going to argue that. I think here I'm bitter of Utah State getting in over my Rams and Grant's Rams. So give me 10 like.
You want to go, Ken?
I don't think Utah State is that good either. I was going to say I don't think Utah State is that good either. I personally like Boise in that conference more than any of those teams. But they sucked too much. They
Also,
lost.
Boise, also good.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Texas Tech here. I never picked them to cover any game. I feel like, but obviously unless they're an underdog, but they are. They will make it ugly. They will make you work hard, and it'll be a gross game. I like them to be able to match up physically with Kada, and they'll make Utah State shoot the ball, which they got some guys that can do it. I like their guard, freshman guard, 24. He's pretty good. I forget his name, but I saw like one game I watched. He got a triple double. He's pretty good. I like him. But I got Texas Tech winning.
I have the most complicated relationship with this game as opposed to any other game in the first round. The one future I liked on the board was Texas Tech to make to the Final Four 10-1. That's about 6.5 to 7.5, 8 maybe. Pretty much everywhere else I've seen since. Chris Beard made it to the national championship game with a transfer from Ass Force. That's the only, and they have a Baylor who's not playing well, Ohio State who could be worn down. It's more so the rest of the region. I mean, how much can we trust the Must Bus this early? I think he's got plenty of time to really sink his teeth in with the Hogs. I'd hate to see him go elsewhere. I think I heard him rumored about other places already. He'd be crazy.
Where else would he go?
I don't know, but he is in the most shameless part of the country.
The muscle man
for him.
That's a very well put.
Yeah. And I would he's going to get guys there as long as he wins 20, 25 games. But anyway, so I like that at that value. That being said, I picked Utah State in the first round because it's a fishy line for one. Only for it's an early tip. This is another one. Maybe just wait till a little bit later in the day or in game. We haven't preached that at all. I know there's a ton of places, and especially on Gil's show, which we all love. They preach just waiting even 5-10 minutes. And Big T, we love Big T. We'll have to help get him on here at some point.
Big T
to talk about his in-game plus. So it's a very complicated relationship, but I did like that 10-1 number. It's just I could see them losing by 3. They've been doing it the majority of the season in heartbreaking fashion, and maybe it's just not their year. But I value play on the bearded lady.
Yeah,
10-1. I just want to point that out there. So I get shocked the rest of the way in the first round. So if you guys want to finish out the last 3 games here.
I've got a lot of people on the Gators. I would like that as well, but I think there's too many people buying into them. Also, with the 3-team schedule in the regular season, who knows if they're actually good or not?
The net knows. The net knows.
The net knows. Okay. I'll go with Muscle Man there, though. The Florida Virginia Tech one I went back and forth on. I wound up with Florida, but I don't know. ACC is ass, so I'll go Florida. And I'll take
arguments here.
Like we said, Ohio State.
I love the Gators. I think this team is awesome. Jordan Burns, the guy, sick. 2 years ago they almost took Tennessee. They took Tennessee to the wire, but I think the love's gone not too far, way too far. Give me the Hogs this game, maybe even the cover. The Gators and Ab Christian a week ago, I would have been all over, but now it's just a little too mainstream for me. So no, give me the Hogs. I like VT over Florida. I can't get a feel for this Mike White team last year and this year, and I have them in the slow draft, so I follow them. I have no clue what they're gonna do any given day. Vatek higher in the metrics, but they played 3 games in this date range, so who freaking knows with that? They've been off. They were off for like 3 weeks. Played Carolina, close game, and TOSU. I think they move on again. Or Roberts, yeah, they can fill it up, but no. I'll just keep going, I guess, since I'm talking now. I like UNC over Baylor. I do. My main reason here is if you look at Baylor and the COVID pause they underwent, I know everyone's talking about it, and the defense, if you look at the metrics, pre-COVID pause, they were number 8 in efficiency. Post-COVID pause, 177.
Oh,
Like,
and that's off of what, like 5 games?
it is off of Baylor, 7 games.
Oh, 7 games. Okay.
So it's again not a huge sample, but well, I mean 177 is pretty bad.
That's concerning. I mean, the Iowa State game alone is concerning. I don't care if
And
you're coming off of menopause or what. You cannot you cannot have that game against Iowa State.
And you look at the tournament, that K State was close, and they lost to Okie State. And I guess if you're looking for a confirmation bias here, Baylor, how awesome they are at shooting the 3 ball with Bell and company. Say they have an off game shooting the 3. I mean, if you miss a 3-pointer against Carolina, you're not going to rebound.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll take Carolina here. I'll take a little spice here. Winthrop, Purdue. You know what's crazy with this game? 2 top 10 teams in the metrics.
The unlikeliest.
I can't stand Purdue. I hate Purdue. I picked against them in the first round of the Big Ten tournament with Ohio State, and I won. But guess what? I'm taking Purdue here. Texas Tech versus the Hogs. We just mentioned about Dan's Final Four possible value here, and Texas Tech can't trust them game in, game out. I think they put 2 together here. And Ohio State takes out Virginia Tech. I have Purdue over Carolina. I hate Purdue. Texas Tech, Ohio State. You can't trust Texas Tech. Well, guess what? The metrics say you can. We get to the Elite 8. Purdue, Texas Tech in the Elite 8. And guess who we're going? Dan, cash that ticket. Give me Chris Beards.
I love it. I would love it. That is
Dan and AY.
I know. That's right. It's all these exchanges. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I hope you're right. 10-1. Even, I mean, 7-1. Whatever. Fire away. Have some fun. Don't go crazy.
It's not the hardest road. I mean,
nope, it's really not.
And yeah, they lost the first game of the Big 12 tournament, but Texas, that game was a complete toss-up.
Yeah, like a lot of their games were.
Like a lot of their OK State, West Virginia, Texas earlier. Yeah, Texas Tech is there every game.
Yep. I mean, I think I texted you guys. We haven't even talked about it yet, but that West Virginia game you just mentioned that went where they came all the way back. I think they were down a dozen or so in Morgan. Well, they were at home, West Virginia was. And, it's just you look at the games like that, you just try and hope that they can have maybe just getting one under their belt. Will spring the run. And I think, I trust. And I meant to mention this earlier, too, when talking about Beard. I don't think it was a flash in the pan that he won or he got all the way to the championship game with a pass force point guard.
He's a good coach.
I guess
when you go to Little Rock, I mean, he can do it.
He is. I mean, they Purdue that tournament too. I guess I know I've been hogging the airtime, but Tech.
Well, you and Can should be taking the lion's share here.
I took Tech to win the Big 12 tournament, so I'm kind of still hoping they can redeem their stuff in that. And you mentioned a big run. Did you guys know Ohio went on a 40-0 run against Cleveland State this year?
Yeah, they did. They did.
I didn't know that.
That was a record. It's a record.
Unbelievable. I totally missed it.
I sent you guys a screenshot of that. It's one of the thousands of screenshots I've sent.
Maybe that's why I kind of knew that. And I heard today, I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. I must have missed that. Sorry. But incredible.
That's part of the reason why I'm picking Houston over that 20 points against Cleveland State, because you see Houston do these 30-something odd runs. They were like 53-17 run against Cincinnati.
They just beat Cincy by 75. So yeah. All right. I'm sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
No problem. I'm going with Purdue over Nova here, the Big Ten pride. Purdue, one of the youngest teams in the country, but Villanova just too depleted. I don't think they've got it. Robinson Earl is pretty good inside, but I think Purdue's got a little too much size with the big head in there, and as well as Travion. Travion's is pretty nice. The big head. I'm also got Texas Tech making it past the Muscle Man, and I've actually got that. I think they match up well style-wise against Ohio State. Ohio State, another team that grinds out. They're not sexy by any means, but I've got the Beard beating Ohio State, who, if they're beating Ohio State, means that Ohio State made it past Florida. That game, uneventful, another gross game, but I think it'll be close. Ohio State sneaks by them. They do not sneak by the Beard. And I've got the Beard playing against Baylor in the Final Four, or in the Elite Eight, for the trip to the Final Four. And I'm not with you guys on that. I've got Baylor taking the rematch in this one. Another ugly game, but I think they'll win by like 2. It'll be a classic. It'll be a good game for the trip. And I'll take Baylor, and I've got Baylor in the Final Four.
All right. I got Baylor over Carolina, Purdue over Nova, Arkansas over Utah State, Ohio State over Florida, Ohio State in the Elite Eight, Baylor in the Elite Eight, Baylor in the Final Four as well for me. I will say, once again, going against the form figures with Baylor, I cannot get the fact they started off so well, and then I really can't get that Illinois game. I know it was a zillion years ago, but this is more of a ceiling play with them. If they can somehow, I think, again, similar to what we just talked about with Texas Tech getting one under the belt, if they can get the first weekend under their belt, then maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to make the run to the Final Four. So, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Boring, I know.
All right. Now we're into the final corner, the Midwest corner of the Midwest, which is the Midwest.
Carmel, Indiana.
The Midwest of the Midwest, Carmel, Indiana, yes.
I'm going to give you my top half and then run to the restroom.
Sounds good.
Is this how it's always been? I've never realized. Is it always been West, Midwest,
Yes.
East, and South?
Always been that, yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me.
What would you prefer instead of Midwest? Central?
Not like a Northwest, South, and East.
It's I never thought of that. Yeah. That's fair. I'm going with obviously Illinois. I love Drexel. Again, Dan, slow drafts. Thank you.
Dragons, give him the cash.
Loyola Chicago. Against the number, it would have been better if Moses was playing. Love Moses, right? Love them. Love the welder. Dan, thank you.
Yep.
I'm going Sister Jean here, though.
Especially without Moses.
Tough. A big fan of Alvarado as well. But give me Crutwick. Tennessee, Oregon State. The run stops here. Love Tennessee. Love them preseason. I know they're 8-7 down the stretch. Kind of gross, but give me them here. And Okie State, Liberty. Liberty scares the hell out of Okie State. Will not be surprised if a win. But we're going to go Okie State by 3, 4.
Yeah.
So kind of going chalk, but uncomfortable at times.
Well, you have to come down from the high.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. I've got the welder, of course, out of solidarity. I was never, even if three or four more guys get out, I'm still taking the welder over Sister Jean and her voodoo. I got the Beavs taking out AY's Darling Vols and Ross Darling Vols. Sorry, Ross.
Did you guys see how many teams wear orange in this region?
I'm just doing a quick review now. It is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
6. Oh, I missed the Beavs. Yeah, 6. Oh man, yeah. All right.
A lot of orange.
A lot of orange. I've got more orange here. Oklahoma State over Liberty. I totally agree with AY's pick here. And I got the Qs bowing out. A trendy team.
A lot of people liking the Qs.
A lot of people liking the Qs. Obviously, there's the historical precedent thrown out the window. I mean,
But
just the ACC.
is Dutcher's head all the way there?
True. Could have some pending offers in the hopper for Captain the Flying Dutchman. But yeah, I got him going through here over the Cuse. West Virginia, that's a weird game with Moorhead, just with their history. And I actually watched it. I think a lot of people were kind of shitting on Moorhead State with the matchup here. But I was pretty impressed that they beat that Belmont team pretty well.
Yeah.
And then even the game before that against Eastern Kentucky.
Belmont should have been in?
What's that?
You think Belmont should have been in?
No, absolutely not. Especially after that, the last performance they showed. They I mean, they weren't even close.
Did you see DV stumping for him?
Well, you know he is. Klemp, I got go ACC, and then Houston over the Vikings, which I believe we already covered in our qualifiers at the beginning. No one's losing and no twos losing, but throw in for good measure. You want me to just keep rattling? Oh, it was back.
It was back.
I'm in a groove here, so I'm going to keep rattling off mine because, again, it's boring. I got Illinois over the Welder, Oklahoma State over the Beavs. A little more spice here with the Ass Technicians getting into the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Flying Dutchman. Then he goes to Minnesota by losing to Houston, who knocks off Klemp. And then I got another 1-2. I think I have all 1-2s. I do.
No. Oh, you do?
And in the Elite Eight, yeah, sorry. Playing the percentages there. I certainly don't expect that to be the case, but playing the percentages, I think it's there were just as a blanket thought, I think there were other seedings that had they been in the same bracket as either these one or the twos, whether it be a 3, 4, or 5. It could have been a little bit more interesting when I was filling this out, but just form and ceiling. Illinois in the Final Four. So I got 3 1s and a 2 with Bammer.
All right.
In my Final Four.
I've got my darling Gers. I've got Gers taking up fraudulent Klemp. I've got Dub V making it past Moorhead State. And I've got the Ass Technicians as well making it past Bayhound. I like what you guys are talking about with Liberty, keeping it close. But Liberty has they've puzzled me this year. They've had some really poor showings against Lipscomb, my team Kenny, my university Kenny. They've had some weird stuff go on in the ASUN. All's well that ends well. They still had a decent season. Or a good season. Not even a decent season. Good season. I like Cade to make it past them. Tennessee, I got Tennessee making it past the Beef Magic. And my sister Jean moving on here, especially without the Moses. Moses leading the way with the pass. Look at that shepherding, the pastor shepherding with Moses.
There you go.
A lot of references.
You would think that'd be attached to Liberty.
Yeah. But no, we've got Sister Jean against Illinois. I got Illinois moving on there. Battle for Chicago. Chicago's one true team. No offense, Northwestern. Illinois wins there. And they're playing against Okie State. I like I've hated Tennessee all year, and Cade, they just scrap out wins. I don't know how they do it, but I like the team. I like them moving on against Illinois, and there's a rematch there. Or I guess it's a revenge game for Okie State, right, against Undies. San Diego State Ass Technicians. I've got them falling to Dub V. Huggy continuing on. I like Huggy a lot, but I think this is going to be a terrific matchup against Houston. They're going to go up and down the court, a lot of just man rebounds. These guys, both two of the best rebounding teams in the country. And I can't wait to see that. Houston, I've loved this team all year. I've bet them a number of times in the Jack. And I've got them moving on to the Final Four. Or not the Final Four, sorry. The Elite Eight. And I've got them falling to Illinois in the Final Four. For the Final Four. But I also, like Dan, have 3 1s, but have a 4 in there with Lenny.
All right.
Okay, catching up. San Diego State, Syracuse, second hardest game of the bracket for me. I got the love for GMAC and just the Syracuse in general. I like them. Metrics, very close, very close. Aztecs.
Technicians.
The suspense.
Aztecs. West Virginia, Morehead State. West Virginia, I saw a number they give up like one of the bottom 10 overall and like open shots given up, which isn't
That's not a
good.
good idea.
But I don't think Morehead State can take advantage of it. So give me Huggins skating by. I guess points I would take Morehead, but
Yeah, I talked them up a little bit while you're in the pisher.
it's kind of a shame Belmont didn't get in because they were the best team in the Ohio Valley throughout the whole year. Understand they weren't the best when it mattered the most. Murray State, talk about underachievers too. Them and Jacksonville State mired down there. But OVC decent this year, but Morehead I think they bow out. The game I'm not watching, Clemson Gers. I know can't. This game I looked at it and I go, you know what? Don't even think about it. Just see who's ranked higher, and it's actually not even close, which kind of makes me feel not great about it. Clemson's way higher than Gers in this metric, so
they have been fraudulent against good teams. Against
bolstered by
teams.
by that 16-point win over Pitt.
Into it, and Gers kind of can't shoot either, so that's not great. But screw it, because they're not beating Houston. I think Houston goes on the warpath versus Cleveland State, goes on warpath versus Clemson, takes out San Diego State, who takes out West Virginia, who I think is pretty fraudulent too. Although I did like them against Okie State in the Big 12, but they let me down there. Top half, Illinois, awesome. Io, Coffee, they do the whole lineup, very good. I like Tennessee, unlike you. I do like them. Cade Cunningham, I feel we only mentioned him, Okie State, but kind of all they got. So
I keep pointing to that. Sorry to cut you off. I keep pointing to that game they played against West Virginia though, without him recently.
They did, yeah. You're right.
They can do something. They maybe at least for one game. I don't know why they missed him at this point, but yeah, that's all I'll add on that.
Tennessee here, number 14 for me. Okie State 30. I don't really see where that 14 comes from for Tennessee. I guess if you look under the hood, it's there. But if you look,
and Faulkner's dinged up, is he not?
Yeah, yeah. With the eye,
he got hit. He got hit.
Yeah, he has eye injury. Yeah. I think they obviously I think they get by Oregon State, and I think that they can get by Oklahoma State. I know Oklahoma State's no slouch, and they might even be favored against Tennessee, but I just like the Tennessee team. It doesn't matter because Illinois is going to take out either of those teams. And down low, I have Houston over the Aztecs, and that's at the regional final of 1 versus 2, Illinois Houston. And
that's what I've got.
Hold on. I have to correct myself. I said Faulkner earlier. It's Fulkerson. That was like when I pronounced Procise as Brocious.
I knew you meant that. I knew
exactly what you're talking about. I honestly was thinking Fulkerson, and thought you said Fulkerson.
Okay. Well, hopefully it came through that way. I'll cut this out.
I may have thought you said Fulkerson. I just called Folky because whoever's on SEC Network and whoever calls Tennessee games every time just Folky. You see how he gets up there with the straight arm?
That's what I said. Vinny Tua.
Oh, of course, AY, yeah.
So it comes full circle a little bit here. So I got Illinois versus Houston, and the number 1 team in my metrics,
Illinois,
is in this game, and the best player.
It's got to be Illinois, right?
The best player on that team, Quentin Grimes.
Oh my!
Yeah, they're good.
Ken, I know you were just talking about him. I didn't want to run in your parade, but I want to back you up right now. Big fan of this Houston team. And you know what the thing is? Houston,
I love this Houston team.
Houston's been riding these defensive numbers all year. How they're lockdown, stiff defense. In this time period, number 1 in adjusted offensive efficiency.
Wow.
This team, if everything, if Charles Barkley, plug your ears, if the analytics come to fruition here, Houston is a major force to be reckoned with.
Please tell me you have a future on them.
I do, 21-1.
There you go.
Not that high, not super high, but
no, that's pretty solid. I mean, for a 2 seed, that's pretty good. I'm just checking the score there. We got Sparty up 9, so Kansas is looking good here.
Kansas is March looking good. So yeah, I have
March is looking good.
I have Houston, but Illinois, number 3 in the metrics. So this region is the hardest.
It is. This region is very good.
Top heavy.
I think I would take Houston. I would take Houston over. I would take Houston over 2 of the ones. I would. I'd take them over Baylor, and I would take them over Michigan. Unfortunately, they're matched up against one of the others.
Agreed. I think Illinois is awesome. I do. I think Houston's awesome too, and I hope we get that game.
I think so. I think we will.
Good. I hope so too. So yeah, let's set the stage here. My Final Four: Gonzaga, UConn, Texas Tech, Houston.
Some good old
A rematch.
Yeah. Houston took them to the woodshed, right? Houston took them to the woodshed, right?
I spelled it out. We got Gonzaga, Houston, Zags, cut it down.
All right, undefeated season.
I think they're awesome. I think they're so good, and I'm rooting like hell for them.
I've got. I agree. I've got Gonzaga in relative ease against Florida State. I think they'll be able to outrun them. Illinois Baylor in this rematch is very interesting to me. I think Illinois is a better team at this stage now, and I like them to make it to yet another national final, where I think they will again fall short to Gonzaga. And the Big Ten will go yet another year without a national title.
It is comical at this point, I must say. 20 years, right? It'd be 20 years if they don't win it this year.
21.
21.
21. I don't know how you do the math.
It depends on if you had to add. So it was 2001 when Sparty won, right? Was the 2001 NCAA tournament, right?
I believe so.
Or was it 2000? It could have been 2000.
It could have been the 2000 national title.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Irregardless, it's been a while. Selfishly, both for the sake of being right, which is our primary goal.
Yes.
As I've always said, I really hope that my Final Four I would call them the teams in the. I can't edit this, so I'm going to just say it correctly. The 3 teams in the best form, plus Baylor, who was so dynamic early on. I've got Illinois taking out Baylor in a rematch again. So another rematch in our one of our Final Four games, and then I've got the Zags going. I mean, I would take over 175 if Gonzaga plays Alabama. But I've got Gonzaga moving on into the title game. And the streak ends, Cam. Illinois, what I believe, obviously, it's Captain Obvious. They won, in their minds, the regular season in the Big Ten, and then they obviously backed it up, their opinions up with the Big Ten championship. I got the Illini avenging.
But Michigan will still be regular season champions, much to their chagrin.
That's right. Well, in this case, they won't have to worry about hanging a regular season banner.
They won't. They'll have something better.
The NCAA champion, Final Four banner.
Yeah.
Big Ten champion. But I'll add this with a wet fart. I can see them losing as early as the Sweet 16 too. It's a year. I think it's every year except for last year.
This
Pretty open.
This Illinois region is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
If you told me Tennessee takes out Illinois, I wouldn't blink.
We're not bad place, yeah.
Or the
You're not
Beavs.
bad. Let's look at these teams. You got Chicago.
That was what Walton was doing, right? Wasn't Walton doing that on the broadcast?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Bring him back. If the Beavs play Illinois in the Sweet 16, I want to see Walton on the call.
What do you think Walton does in the offseason?
He takes shrooms, the toad.
I'm thinking
any psychedelic imaginable. I believe that at his age, even I believe that he's just blonde.
Yeah,
He's in another dimension at all times, except for
he hops in like his camper and spends a week at Joshua Tree, Sequoia, Yosemite, and then ends out like somewhere like the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, he's one. He can be a bit much in the middle of the season, but beginning of the year, a good sign that college basketball is back, and then you save for the last drops of him in the Pac-12 conference tournament, as AY and I did.
He was letting it all hang out that last.
When he calls again, my favorite. I love the giant amongst shriveling midgets. That's a classic line. But when he was calling the selection committee the Politburo, which is obviously, for those that don't know, a communist decision maker group, I guess you could call it that.
We'll go with that.
And when he called him that in reference to Oklahoma State or Oregon State not getting an at-large bid, too funny, man. He's always carrying. I want to see him back in Maui. That's the other thing. We got to get him back in Maui for next year. So everybody, I guess get vaccinated at this point. We're a little bit stronger in the fall. At least I was in the fall about don't do anything essentially. But
I'm feeling strong about it. I think we will have. Alabama's come out and said they're going to have full stadium.
Yeah. I think at this point for me, the hourglass is out with the. Well,
the way Pennsylvania is.
It's been a year as of last Friday. A year as of last Friday, that was kind of what I had mentally, mental restraint for about a year. So
the way are trending now with Pennsylvania 50% outdoors. I'm feeling good.
Ken thinks he will be in the stadium.
I feel I will be there.
Me too.
I feel I will be
not Beaver Stadium, but
we can make the jokes here that you will be socially distanced, Dan. You do not need to worry about capacity. You do not need to worry about capacity there.
Once again, pit the pioneers in all things medicine. That's all I need to say.
All right.
Are we good? Yeah, we got two Gonzagas in Illinois.
Yep. And we got a Gonzaga against in Illinois. Or two Gonzaga against in Illinois, right?
Yeah, you have them, Ken, right?
I have a Gonzaga against in Illinois, yeah.
So chalky in the end, but it was fun. I think we caused enough distress in the bracket.
It's pretty chalky. Mine was pretty chalky except for the bottom left.
Yeah, bottom left things got a little weird for me.
I love it. None of that would stun me.
But I went 9, 12, 6.
I'm 7. Taking off this mask too, by the way. It's killing me. I can't see anything.
You made it the entire way.
You did.
The mask is off. It's been made the whole time.
I guess two pieces of news I haven't told to Andrew. Ocker pouring out for him, Wichita.
Oh yeah,
good run.
Good run. You guys work tomorrow?
Tomorrow, kind of.
I am not. I am.
I am not.
Are we not recording anymore? I can't say what I'm
going.
I can't on the record say where I'm going to be.
All right. Yeah. Good idea.
We'll wait till. Okay. Well, in that case,
Dan has a vacation planned.
In that case, For me, AY coming from the beautiful state capital
Get one more shot of the mustache.
of the blue state, the Commonwealth,
Mine too.
in Cairns.
I just got a little bit of a rugged beard going here. The once a month shaving policy still in effect.
It looks good.
Looks good.
Commonwealth, blue state, Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. Enjoy the weekend. Have fun. For Danberg out west.
Yeah, just enjoy the games. It's amazing. We made it this far. I think it's again another tired
We
point
did
that
it.
people bring it up, but we made it.
We did it.
Wouldn't have believed it.
Hashtags bars. We did it. We wouldn't. Dan. You were skeptical a month ago.
I was very nervous that
Rightfully so.
same thing after the Super Bowl. If they could have pulled the plug on everything again,
Yeah.
I just think there was too much. I mean, as much as people were kicking and screaming throughout all this, for the most part,
They had to.
we've still made we've been about one step forward, 0.75 steps back. That's what I would call it. Maybe on a monthly basis. So, yeah, I think, just think be careful still. Like all these things that should have been basic, human understandings before all this, to get on my soapbox here. Just continue to follow that. And then, you don't have to have ragers to have fun. And just, be smart.
Be smart. I am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Congrats again, Barbs. Congrats again, Barbs. We did it. We made it to the tournament. Barbs, we did it. You got engaged. Congratulations to you and Heather. Truly. From the Holy Try.
From the Holy Try. Ken, take us away.
For me, here in dreary, rainy, central Jersey, where I will continue to be for the next couple hours. Have a great night, guys.
For me, also in dreary, rainy Columbus, Ohio, the Red State, the Buckeye State. Didn't get a lot of Buckeye talk in.
They are so gross. They are so gross.
They're gross. I don't know about that.
They are the least sexy good team out there. They're not.
Okay.
They're not sexy.
Good night, all.
Oh, we did not talk about any recruiting. Penn State got that quarterback.
Please no. Please no. We're at the peak of available college basketball content. We do not need to talk about the fucking Penn State quarterback, Notre Dame insider. Oh, Christ.
Nice Berwick hat. I like that.
Berwick Brian.
Thank you for listening.
Shout out Berwick Brian.
Hope
Shout
you
out
watching.
Berwick Brian.
We'll be back. Hey, 1 week till Bristol dirt race NASCAR.
Oh yeah, we're gonna clear the bases. We'll probably come back with another live show and clear the races. Ross been chomping the bit. He's been doing the countdown over on the. I tried to find. I was watching. I'll end with this odd point. I was watching. It was either obviously R.I.P. Marvin Hagler. I was watching either his Mugabe fight or it was the Ray Leonard fight, and there's a Pete Rose shot, like when they do the crowd shots. Even back then, this is in the '80s. They still did this celebrity crowd shots, and what looked like a mail order bride with Pete Rose. I tried to find it. I could not find it. I wanted to reply to today's post. Charlie Hustle today on the countdown for the Little Red Machine.
If you would have sent Roth that, he would have lost it.
I'm gonna find it tonight. I stopped after about 25 minutes, but it had to be one of those. Those are the only two fights I watched, and I saw him. So
he would hit you with a bunch of ha ha ha.
Alrighty.
Good stuff.
Now we're really done.
Enjoy the tournament. We're back. We'll see you hopefully a little more frequently now in the off season. We got a bunch.
We'll have the name of the year bracket coming up.
Name of the year coming up.
Noti, yes. Final Four tradition.
Yeah. Badlands. What's his last name? McNally. Badlands McNally will absolutely.
It doesn't matter. His first name was Badlands.
And then you get famous left hand as well. Famous left hand will be a 1 seed, that's for sure.
We got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we got baseball, we got name of the year, we got dirt, NASCAR, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed watching. Take care. Have a good night. Enjoy March Madness. Thank you.